Friends, good morning. Good to see you. Chicago Tony V here. Yeah, Chicago Tony V here. This is just a very brief pre-party. We will start recording the podcast in T-minus 4 minutes. I'm still trying to get comfortable with what I'm doing here on Twitch/Twitter/YouTube. I am still blocked out of the Reddit universe for some reason, so we will start recording the show and it'll start to feel normal. Again, T-minus 4 minutes. We'll give a little bit of time for people to usher in, get comfortable. Today is Tuesday. Today's going to be episode 197. We'll see what comes out of my fat face. Oh, the stunning redhead is in the gold medal position. Good morning, Georgie girl.
Just a small town girl.
Good to see you, dear. 2 mornings in a row. Lovely. Tremendous. I'm going to take that to mean you're feeling a little bit better. You don't have to answer or confirm because don't break my heart. I'm just going to assume that means you're getting into a groove. Who would have thought? Here we are. Who would have thought this is what, my 4th show in a row? On Twitch, etc., with the wider screen. I never would have guessed. I never would have thought. I wonder at this point, when am I getting back to Reddit? I still can't get it to work for me, which is scandalous. Scandalous. Let's see, T-minus 3 minutes and counting. It also feels weird to me to be speaking without music behind me. Does it feel weird as a listener? And I'm sure it also feels weird to be the only listener, Georgie girl. Oh, the good old days of Reddit. Are they over? I don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, it's a good question. Am I setting into a routine, Georgie? I mean, it kind of feels that way. Although I don't feel comfortable yet. No music is a little weird. Well, fear not. 2 more minutes. I'm going to start the whole thing. We'll do the music. It'll feel normal. But, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out this Reddit thing. Georgie, if you have the energy and can remember, I actually have an announcement about more shows this week. I think I actually got to skip. Salty, good morning, sir. Good to see you. Georgie, if you can think about it somewhere in the show, remind me. Because I think, even though we're on the precipice of 200 episodes, I actually got to shut down for a few days because some real life shit has happened to me, and it's horrifying. And I won't talk about it, I don't think, but it's a bit schmexy, says Sofa. Sofa, that's so you. It's schmexy. I hope Plumber's in the house today because I'm going to talk about Plumber a fair bit. We'll see. Let's see. T-minus 1 minute and counting. I wonder who else will show up this morning. Should be interesting. I have my big fat Yeti coffee mug. It's filled with my big fat Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Is schmexy really a word? Like, is that actually a real thing? Should I look it up on that Urban Dictionary deal? That really has me wondering. Schmexy. It feels good. It reminds me of one of those Yiddish words. Yiddish words are actually great. He's a putz. This is a schwitz. Pull that schmutz off your sweater. Yiddish. Sofa again with the coffee steak. Sofa cannot live this down. I'm going to have to, I don't know. I got to entertain this coffee steak. We got to get it out of Sofa's system. He can't help himself. Morning, Tank. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you, man. All right, here we are, 7 a.m. May as well get this shit show on the road, hey? Okay, places, everyone. Places. Holy cow, where's my music? Okay, there it is. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to another edition of the Chicago Tony V Show. Specifically, welcome to episode 197 for Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. I'm nearly certain that today is episode 197. Let's see. Friday is supposed to be episode 297. Yeah, today is 197. Can you believe that? Although, do you want to hear an interesting little wrinkle? The Big Diesel did not hit record yesterday for the podcast. So on the Spotify stream, it's going to be interesting. Now, I have technical powers. There is a way to summon up an actual recording of yesterday's show and to deliver it via the live stream, which surely Chicago Tony V Enterprises will do because we're an organization to be reckoned with. And so it'll be up there. It's going to be a pain in the ass. So that was 196. Or I guess we could leave it out of the Spotify thing, and then that could be one of the trivia questions, right? One of these days, I'm going to surprise Georgie with a second set of trivia. And, we'll see how that goes. That would not be fair right now. With Georgie being on the sidelines just a little bit, that would be not fair. Not fair. Today is 2 days in a row that we have 2 mornings in a row we've seen our dear Georgie girl. That's super, super exciting. For a guy like me where I'm sitting, I can't tell you how awesome that is. Let's see. Salty. By the way, can we say, I don't know if we can say it, so I won't say what you just said. Surely, why would we want to change this flu deal, right? The oligarchs aren't on to that little term yet, right? One day, that's how I'll know I've made it. My term, this flu deal, will get banned. Will get banned. Let's get Tank's music homework out of the way. It is Under and Over It by Five Finger Death Punch. I was listening to this tune before the show. It's really quite a jam. It's going to get your blood flowing. It's going to get the heart beating. It's for some of you, it's going to terrorize you all the way down to your socks, toes. I don't know, but it's quite a jam. So there's Tank's music homework. Tank has been, in our Discord, our Pepperoni Discord. When you go through Tank's music homework section, it's really quite a library. In all seriousness, it makes you wonder. Just think about all the people whose horizons are being expanded because Tank has such a wide musical interest. Oh, wait, here we go. So Plumber must be in, right? Oh, yeah, there he is, because Georgie told Plumber I'm going to talk about him. Plumber likes the music. Let's get some headbanging, he says. Plumber, I was telling everyone I hope you're in this morning because I'm going to talk about you a little bit. You'll see where it's headed. Yeah, Tank's musical variety is really something. I mean, I suppose you could just look at his sleeve on his arm and you'd get an understanding like, oh man, there's a pretty wide array. He's got all the giants. Tank's sleeve is kind of like, it's like the musical Mount Rushmore a little bit. Tank says his music is better than his memes. Tank, anyone who gets the golden ticket into the Pepperoni Discord, our latest Pepperoni that we love is, of course, Lady Letter Carrier. She was the fastest ascension into the Discord. We took her in. We wrapped our arms around her just immediately almost. anyone who goes in there, you're going to see in the meme section too. Tank has quite a meme practice. I don't even know, how can there even be that many memes on the internet? And how does Tank find these things? But he's really big on the memes, for sure. Oh, here's a good one. Plumber says Tank would make a good roadie. Oh, I guarantee Tank would make a good roadie. Tank, maybe that could be a retirement gig for you if you ever need to slow down and do something else. Memes and alcohol are my coping mechanisms. That's great. Well, as I said this morning, I decided, you know what? I'm actually going to talk about Plumber. And speaking of the Pepperoni Discord, there's, for you Spotify listeners who haven't maybe ascended into the VIP Pepperoni Discord yet, just to review real quick, all you got to do, poke your head around in the comment area. Help us get to know you just a little bit. If you're a nice person, boom, one of these days you're going to get an invite. We call it the golden ticket to the Pepperoni Discord. And then you're going to be able to hang out and waste your time with us at all hours of the day, not just on mornings, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern. That's how it works. So on said Discord, all right, Plumber, out of the goodness of his heart. Now, let's tell it like it is. We live in a weird time, right? Where, like Salty just asked, is there a term that we're allowed to say? Think of that. Can we say this term? And the inference in Salty's question is, and this is based in reality, we all understand there's certain things that we could say that, boom, could get us kicked right out. Land of the free, home of the brave. Whoever thought? So our dear Plumber, now he didn't post anything to the Discord that, was like going to get us banned, but he did something in the spirit that took some guts, right? Because anymore, there's something in the air. I don't know what it is, but like being a little bit controversial or against the grain a little bit. For some reason, what's happened to us, I don't know how this happened, but it's like fuses have been put in everyone's psyche, okay? Let's review what a fuse does. Even though I don't think I understand what a fuse does, I'm not an electrician, but let's see if I got it. All right, a fuse is there if the power gets too great and it's going to damage something downstream, the fuse blows and it breaks the connection. Somehow in our psyches, the same thing has happened. If there's certain topics and certain ideas that people can bring up that freak people out. This fuse happens and they can't even listen, they can't even blah blah blah, blah run away. So it's crazy times, all right? And so Plumber, out of the goodness of his heart and the care for other pepperonis, is he posted to our Discord, hey, could you just stock up? All right, it's looking like times are going to get tough. Now, Plumber, like me, Plumber's a business owner, right? And so I think for us business owners, we get maybe we get an extra angle at this whole thing. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, that happens. Like, so Plumber, for example, to do all his plumbing, all right, there's the supply chain deal. Like he needs parts, he needs equipment, he needs stuff. So he probably is seeing better than most that, something real goofy is happening with the supply chains. Now, I don't know jack shit about plumbing, so I can't even think of a part. I don't know. Plumber can't get his hands on whatever, the turlet gasket rings, whatever the hell, O-rings, shitter O-rings, whatever it is. But so he has a perspective maybe that a lot of people don't have. In my main business, there's a whole lot of equipment, right, that goes through my organization, and oh my God, it's changed drastically. And then if you kick around and if you pay attention to certain, especially I would say independent journalists especially, but even now some of this stuff is becoming mainstream. You keep just seeing over and over this idea of things are going to get tight, maybe. Okay, let's just be careful. Let's be careful. And so just out of solidarity with Plummer, now I think for most of you people this will not be very surprising. But out of solidarity, I just want to review some of the things I've been squirreling away, right? Now squirrels will shove they'll shove copious nuts in their nutsack. No, that's not the right term. Pouch, we'll call it. And all right, they'll bury it for a rainy day. Tank, good man. Tank says I'm gonna start stocking on tuna. Very good man, Tank. I just this morning before I came into Studio B, I just pulled a bunch of stuff out of one of my stashes. Okay, the close one. Speaking of tuna, let's see if I can. Oh, here, we'll just start there. Here's, they call this albacore tuna, solid white. You Spotify listeners, here we go again. I'm doing something over the video. I'm going to use my words. See, it's from Trader Joe's. Now, Amber Glow was saying, I think last night, it's like, yeah, I'm in a practice of when I go shopping, I just pick up a few extra things. Like this tuna I hold in my hand right here is one of those deals. I was at Trader Joe's because a beautiful and elusive medic would talk me into buying some smoked fish. I was looking for it at Trader Joe's, but I also picked up some of this. You know. Plumber says, I know a prepper that has 25 grand worth of food packed away. Plumber, you might know 2 preppers that have 5 grand in food packed away. Allegedly. Sofa says, America and Europe are in the beginning of bad inflation and shortages. How do you think this compares to the 70s? It's reminiscent. I think that history rhymes. What is the times now? What are they more reminiscent of than the 70s? I think they're more reminiscent of the Bolshevik Revolution. So go bone up on that and go look up something called Holodomor. Holodomor. Don't ask me to spell it. Sound it out. Holodomor. And, go read up on that and then go buy some goddamn tuna. Okay, so tuna. Let's see. I showed tuna. Now, now this is packed in water, but sometimes if I'm being really conspiratorial, sometimes I'll be like, give me the one packed in oil because it's more calories and I'll starve later. Hold on, let me get a sip of coffee before I go to my next thing. So Plumber talking about his friend. He has enough packed away to survive anything short of nuclear fallout. Ode to none. Ode to none. Shoots, he scores. Says, I've got 3 years for 4 people stacked. That is tremendous. Sofa's trying to spell a Holodomor. Don't look at the pictures. They will kill your soul. Do not look up pictures of Holodomor. So you think one day, well, boy, if I could get a Yeti endorsement, wouldn't that be something? Anyway, let's see. What else do I have? Just in no particular order. You know, a lot of canned stuff, okay? So if I want to flex my Italian, right? I got a little Bumblebee Italian white style clam sauce. Bada bing. Now, this, you guys know I'm in a low carb thing, right? So do I have 2 football fields of spaghetti packed away? Yes, I do. I hope I don't need to break into them. But we're talking about survival here, folks. So, you know, it is what it is, all right? If shit hits the fan, there's going to be a while where I'm going to be happy as a clam. Happy as a clam for a while. Hell, speaking of clams, bada bing. There's some happy clams right there. Reese, smoked baby clams. This is a freaking delicacy, people. You put this on some crackers. Again, not low carb. If I'm eating this shit on crackers, that means we're in big trouble. But it also means the big diesel is going to survive just a little bit longer than his dopey neighbors. A little bit longer. Let's see. Plumber says, yeah, it's not just food. It's shampoo, toothpaste, medicine, toiletries. Yes. Yeah, you got it. Now, the trick with this whole thing is there's no end to it, right? So, you know. Tank says, not what I was expecting when you were going to show clams. And good point here from Ode to None. You also need to stock items for trade. Yes. Now, I've talked about before, I'm just not a boozer. Like, alcohol is not my thing. It's just not my thing. However, I really need to stock like pints of whatever, Jim Beam or some shit. Because one of these days, in certain situations, some people are I'm gonna need something that another guy has, and he's gonna be dying for a drink. Yeah, Tank says ammo and booze. Yes, ammo and booze. Now, I'm not gonna show my ammo, but I have ammo. Good morning, lady. Letter carrier is in the house. How are you? Good to see you, dear. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Let's see, what else do I have? These are all easy, okay? King Oscar sardines. Boom, another thing. Oh, these are in Dijon mustard. Very nice. Throw these on a cracker. Make a little, you know what I would probably do is just make some homemade flatbread. Have some sardines on there. Like I said, there's going to be this period of time. If shit really hits the fan, there's going to be this little window of time where I'm eating like a king-ish, right? I'm going to be laughing my ass off and just helping my neighbors drill new belt loops, right? As it gets skinnier and skinnier. And just, of course, I can't let them know how just my house is bursting at the seams with calories. It's not how it works. Let's see, what else do I got? Oh, here's one. Like, so, you know, the stuff I've showed you, these canned things, I mean, they'll last a good while. 3, 4, 5 years. Here's something. What's this? Let's see. This is mashed potatoes. This is in these number 10 cans, made in the USA. Ready hour. These are just mashed potatoes. I don't know. It's up to a 25-year shelf life. Boom. I have way too much of this sort of shit, and I've got some more on the way. It's a big problem. Let's see. What else? You know? This is, if it's good enough for the military. Now, in normal life, I would never eat this shit. Spam, are you kidding me? But in a certain situation, under a certain calorie deficit, this is going to be like filet frickin' mignon Am I wrong? All you got to do is add Spam to those bacon and eggs. This can is it has tocino seasoning. Doesn't that sound good? I don't think so either, but I don't give a shit. Again, when I'm starving, it's going to taste freaking great. I'm going to be like, I can't believe I have this shit. As Salty says, is that gourmet Spam? I think it is. I really did. I have so much of this shit, and I tried to get various flavors and stuff, you know, because what is it about? It's about as much as anything. Oh, wait, lady says Spam is great done on a barbecue grill. Oh, Tanun says also will need powdered milk and eggs, powdered peanut butter, and water filters. Boom, covered. Got it. We're on the same page, Ode. Here's another. This is just for morale and shit, and trade and whatever. But this is just fun. It's not so practical, but it's fun. All right, MREs. Let's see what this one is. Menu 17, pork sausage patty, maple flavored. So this is some sort of MRE breakfast, right? I got these things all over the place, and they're just fun. That's what they are. They have little heaters inside. So there'll be, you know, a main course. There'll be coffee for sure in here. There'll be some sort of electrolyte drink. They'll have some sort of bullshit like a Pop-Tart or some sort of bread product that will last 10 years. Tank says MREs have 1 day's worth of calories. That's interesting. I did not know that. 1 MRE. Think of that. That's not bad. So right there with my stash, whatever, I got 2 months of food. Was there something else? Oh yeah, so then also all sorts of stuff like for fun. If I need to, when my whole stash runs out, I got these foraging playing cards and wild cards, edible wild foods. The wild food identification card game. So if I'm really hurting and I gotta go to the next level, I'm just gonna pull out these cards and then I'm gonna start roaming the earth and just eating shit that grows out of the ground. Salty says MREs from the 40s have cigarettes. Yes. Yes. Yes, of course, that comes from a time when, now I'm sure what they did is they took a poll of all the greatest scientists, the greatest doctors, and they pooled all their research. And they figured out which were the very best cigarettes for the health of our soldiers. Chocolate and stockings, says Lady Letter Carrier. Yeah, chocolate for barter at least, right? And then stockings. Do you mean socks? Or do you mean, you know, stockings? Let's see. Plumber says when Tony's on the farm, he will pull those cards out and look for dinner. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what I'll do. And hopefully I'll shoot that freaking deer that we just needed 10 more yards on that sucker, and I would have had deer meat for the whole season. It's one of those things. What else do I have? All right, so there's books too. There's books. All right, this is all in solidarity with Plumber. He had the guts to kind of say, "Hey, I'm worried." Now, like me, like Ode to None, like everybody, Plumber might be wrong. I might be wrong. But what I'm saying is, for now, maybe better safe than sorry. Okay. All right. So I've been building up this library too. Let's see. This book is Finding Good Farmland. There's a book, How to Evaluate and Acquire Land for Raising Crops and Animals. Bam. Right? I might be in the market for that. I mean, actually, I'd love to do it right now. Please, God. These are just, I have so many of these books, I just pulled a few off the shelf. How to Raise Goats. Everything you need to know. Also, how to look adorable in a cowboy hat too. How to raise goats. There's a book. I hope I never have to crack this open. I hear goats are kind of a pain in the ass, but you never know. In case I need it someday, boom, I got it. Here's a book that I'm really jazzed about. This is actually, I love this because this is an antique. This is how the old timers used to do the shit. This one is called Domestic Rabbit Production by George S. Templeton. This book is almost as old as Jesus Christ. If you look closely, it's got very nice green and red color. But this tells it like it is. It tells every last thing. And I think if I were in the shit hits the fan, here's a page from the book. See this picture? What they're telling you is, so it's a picture of, it's two babies, maybe twins, and then a rabbit. What they're saying is, if you've done what's in this book and you're raising rabbits, you won't have to eat your babies. Don't eat the babies, eat these, is what's on that page. What else do I got? Here's one that I cracked open a lot last summer. This is Home Preserving by the Ball Company. Complete book of home preserving. You gotta, if you're gonna try and survive and you're growing shit and all that stuff, you gotta know how to preserve it. And then lastly, I just had to pull this off. I don't know why. Does everyone know that Benjamin Franklin wrote a book called Fart Proudly? The writings of Benjamin Franklin you never read in school. Maybe that means he didn't write the book. I don't know. But I had to show that to you. Why I have that book, I don't know. I think I bought it for my dad one year for Christmas. So, solidarity for plumber. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. People want me to buy fishnet stockings. Okay, maybe. Georgie says she hopes we're wrong on all this prepping stuff. I do too, dear. She says my prepping stopped at ammo. Well, that is one way to get food, you know. You can shoot small game, or you can shoot your neighbors. Two different ways to get food in a shit hits the fan scenario. You're gonna need a generator and some sort of fuel. Yes, I totally agree. Let's see. Yeah, plumber makes a very good point. I hope we're all wrong for the sake of the kids. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yes, lady says a bunny in the hand is worth two babies in trade. Oh my goodness. Ben Franklin tooting his own horn. Good one from the tank. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, that's a little bit of solidarity for Plumber. Plumber, thank you for having the cojones to put that question or those comments up on Discord, right? Everyone's touchy these days. God love you. I hope we're wrong. Let's get to some mailbag. Before I get to mailbag, okay, just so you guys know, I'm not going to get into it. I'll put it up on Discord. I'll put it up on Twitter and blah, 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 blah. I think today is the last show of the week. You know me. I would much rather do shows, so something is cropped up. Now, there's a chance that I might rebound and I mean, if I can, you know me, I would much rather do this. So maybe you'll see me still this week, but maybe not so much. Anyway, so we'd better squeeze all the excitement and joy out of this broadcast as we can, just in case. This will give you guys more time to go out and buy canned goods before it's too late. All right, let's get to the mailbag, everybody. First letter. Dear Tony, do you binge watch any TV shows? And if so, what's a recent one you can recommend? This is from Alice M. in Midland, Michigan. By the way, anyone that wants to send a letter in, the email address is chicagotonyv@gmail.com. We love getting your letters. Thank you very much. Alice M., anything I binge watch on TV? I don't do much of it, but I did, as luck would have it, I did binge watch something recently, which is, it's actually apropos for today's talk. Believe it or not, the show is called Alone. I saw it on Netflix. I don't know how that shit works. Does it premiere on some sort of other channel and then eventually it gets to Netflix? I don't know how that works, but I think it's season 7 of Alone is what I just, and binge watch would be the proper terminology because I couldn't put that thing down. And I just couldn't stop. These people get dropped off in the wilderness. These are survival experts. They get dropped off. They can bring, I think, 10 items with them. Everyone brings a knife, of course. Everyone brings a hatchet, of course. But there's some variability. Some guys bring a fishnet. Some guys bring tarps, whatever. That's one that I totally binge watched. But I don't do much of it, to be honest. Don't know why. I can't get myself to sit through it. So there you go, Alice M. Thank you for your letter, dear. Come back and see us again sometime. Okay, next letter. Dear Tony, theoretically, if a child were born today and can live to about 75 years of age, where on the planet would be the best place to live to avoid the effects of climate change? Asking for a friend or grandson in parentheses. Janet K. This is from Janet K. Okay, Janet K., thank you for your question. Janet, please don't worry. Okay. The climate has always changed. Okay. Let's not be afraid of this. The climate has always changed. As a matter of fact, where I am right now, hold on. Okay, it just changed. All right. Wait, it just changed again. All right, it's constantly changing, Janet. I think you're asking about. I think what you're asking is you don't want your grandson to die in some sort of biblical flood, right? Due to whatever, the warming of the planets, the melting of the ice caps, the this, the that. Just to be safe, get him some water wings, just to be safe. But I think that's what you're saying. What I'm going to say to you, Janet, is what you need to be worried about is the, for your grandson, is the loss of freedom leveraged by the climate change story, is what I'm going to argue. So I think what you really need to look at is... Tank says, buy a jacket and some shorts and you're good to go. Oh, my goodness. The stunning redhead says, icebergs would melt, coasts would flood, plains would suffer drought. There's no safe place. All right, and let me get on my rant and that everyone's going to hate, and I'm sorry. I think your grandson... really needs to be away from all the areas where there are going to be freedoms taken because of the climate change danger that we're in, okay? Lady Letter Carrier thinks my pantry would be a good place to live. I don't know. If your grandson would be willing to be my servant, I might be able to work something out. I might be. Anyway, okay, don't worry. This is the epitome of there's nothing you can do about this, okay? And if you really look around a little bit, you can, if you want to go read magazines, go to the library in the basement where they keep all the old magazines. Have a librarian help you, and you'll see that they've been telling us this shit forever. And it's like we got by my calculation, we got 6 years left, right? They said in whatever, 1946. And of course, it used to be Ice Age. It used to be Ice Age. They were selling that one to us for a decade or two. Then the scientific geniuses, then they switched to global warming. Now it's just climate change, which I think that's the best strategy because, wait, okay, it just changed again. Do you see? Do you get my point? Hold on, Janet. It changed yet again. It just changed like 5 times during my conversation, during my answering your letter. It changed. And so give me tax dollars. I'll fix it for you. Do you see how this works? Okay. Really get your grandson a career where he can just be paid in cash. Maybe that's the way to go. Thank you for your letter, Janet. I'm sorry that you probably hate me now. Let's see. Next letter. Dear Tony, if there was ever absolute proof that there was no God and that the entire universe was just a happy accident, how should the organized religions react? This is from Len P. It's a short letter, so let me read it again. If there was ever absolute proof that there was no God and that the entire universe was just one happy accident, how should the organized religions react? Okay, Lenny, that's an interesting question. One imagine would imagine that how would you, if there was proof, how can you prove that something does not exist? Something as broad as the idea of God or a creator or whatever. I mean, I'm going to try to answer your question, but I do wonder how that could even be proven. Okay, but if there's absolute proof, okay, everybody, time out. All right, we have it. We figured it out. We have the final answer. There's no God. There's nothing. There's no reason to any of this. Just so you know, there's no reason to any of it. How should the organized religions react? I would think they should and would react by completely ignoring this information, right? Don't all organizations, I mean, don't they kind of take on a life of their own, and they just try to they're self-perpetuating? They would just try to keep going. Do you think the religions should offer a refund or something like that? Gee, sorry everybody. We thought there was this, God thing and everything, and you know what? Here's all this money back that we collected. I don't know. Tank says the world would be even more morally deficient than it is now. Yeah, I think, luckily, I think that's one of those things that can never be proven. And I'm not so sure that's a bad thing. I don't know. Interesting question. I think the religions would just keep on trucking and should, whatever. All right, next letter. Hey, Tony, something I've always wondered. Given all the inequality in the world between rich and poor, why don't the poor rise up and riot against the rich? This simple tactic never seems to occur to the poor. Why is that? This is from Betty from Overland Park, Kansas. Betty, thank you for your question. I'm actually going to... I'm going to disagree with kind of the premise of your question. I think you're close, but you're kind of missing a little part. I'm going to give you a what if. What if the poor are rioting from time to time, and the media isn't reporting it? What about that? Now, who owns the media? Is it the uber wealthy? Is it the overlords, or is it the poor people? That's right. It's the rich people. By the way, the weather has changed again, like 5 times. Sorry, the climate. So what if it actually is happening and we're just not being told about it? That to me seems more plausible. Lady says, I don't have time while working 3 jobs to riot. Very valid. There's a lot of that going on too. All right, so I'm going to use a real example. People don't know this, and this is I think this is on purpose. People don't know that when Martin Luther King was assassinated, people think he was organizing based on ethnicity, and this is actually untrue. The marches on Washington by the time he was assassinated, they were actually they were all races of people. It was socioeconomic. His last big thing was actually the Poor People's March. The Poor People's March. It had nothing to do with your ethnicity and everything. But they never tell you that. I think they just don't even want you to think about that stuff, right? Oh, Georgie has a great point. She says it's happening now with so many people refusing to work. Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, so I think it's actually happening. But they just don't spell it out for you. I don't think they want us to see people rising up. All right. Okay, let's see. Next letter. Dear Tony, I've noticed this tendency in me lately, and it really bothers me. Anytime I'm around a lady who is somewhere in the neighborhood of my age and who is very nice to me, I start to fantasize about being in a romantic relationship with her. This happens probably at least once per day. This bothers me because it seems absolutely pathetic. You would think I'd have more stringent requirements than just be nice to me. This is from Ted G. I'm laughing, Teddy, because this is me. I am the exact same way. I've said it over and over. Actually, I like waitresses. I fall for waitresses all the time, and of course they have to be nice to me. It is not weighted in reality. Their behavior towards me has nothing to do with reality or attraction or anything. Yet I fall for it every time. And so I guess I'm gonna say, I hope to Christ it's not you being pathetic. Although I can definitely see where you're coming from. Because. I mean, I'm the same way, Ted. 2 peas in a pod. Brothers from another mother. Yes, just please be nice with me and don't hurt me. And then I'll put your kids through college. It's not complicated. I don't know. So for what it's worth, Ted, you're not the only one. Maybe you and I are both pathetic. You know? Yeah, Georgie reminds us all. Tony fell in love with a waitress who brought him a sandwich. Yeah, once a week I do that. Right, and Otanon is right. They are after our tip money. I know that. But it doesn't mean I can't dream. I don't know, it's a weird thing. You know what it is? I just need to get out more, for the love of God. It is pathetic, Ted. We're pathetic. Let's be honest. We got to get out more. We have to have higher standards. I think that would be the healthy way to be. Tank fantasizes about redheads fantasizing about him. Nothing like when a stunning redhead loves you, Tank. All right, let's see what else is in the mailbag. Let's see how many of these I can get through. Dear Tony, bit of a riddle for you to maybe help me untangle. I'm a 26-year-old male, and I've had enough life experience to know that I'm reasonably attractive. But I'm far from a GQ model. I'm somewhere in the low mid to mid-range of average attractiveness. For the past couple of years, when a girl has shown any sort of interest in me, it's always been an obese girl. This has happened like 3 times in a row. My problem is I just can't get past the weight problem, and it turns me off. Is this normal to feel this way? Is there something I could be doing to fend off this type of prospect and only attract normal weight girls? This question sounds ridiculous to me, but I thought I'd ask, as you are a pretty creative and insightful guy. This is Don from Clarksville, Tennessee. Don, thank you for your letter. And hey, let's face it, at least someone's interested in you, Don, huh? It sounds like over and over. A few times in the past couple of years. So is it normal to feel this way? I mean, well, I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to give a caveat. Okay, I'm going to argue that the times that we live in now are just unnatural in general because of all this Frankenfood, right? You know, it's not, we weren't built to walk down aisles full of Smurf Berry Crunch. You know what I mean? And birthday cake frosting. And then frosted Smurf Berry Crunch. We weren't designed that way. So basically, as you go through life and you're meeting these girls who are obese, if that's accurate, it's they're victims of the modern food supply. So like there's like nothing, we weren't designed to deal with this issue. So I would have to assume if we were cavemen and you were walking around and some girl is tipping the scale at 300, there would be something inside that said, there's something not quite right there. I don't know what the hell it is. Jesus Christ, she has a gland problem or something. There's no Smurf Berry Crunch back in the caveman days, so it had to be some sort of fucked up glandular thing. So we're probably wired. You know, we would, back then in the caveman days, who knows, maybe we would see one obese person our entire life. I'm theorizing. I'm not that old. This is true, though. Georgie makes a point. It would be better survival through the shortages. Yes, that is true. There's always a silver lining. Some people will be like, thank Christ I found zebra cakes. And, you know. Tank says, be grateful the big girl likes you, you ogre. Oh. Now, lady has an interesting angle. She says, what a great date opportunity. Go on hikes, work out in the gym, cook healthy meals together. Yeah. It kind of goes against, I think a lot of people would be like, you just need to love her for her and all that stuff, you know. I don't know. It's so hard. But now, how could you, now, I don't know. Don kind of wants to know, how can I fend off this type of prospect? I don't know. Adorn your clothing in lettuce or something, kale. Some sort of repellent. Don't keep Kit Kats in your pockets. I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. Don, I like what Tank is saying. Just be grateful. All right, be grateful. And it's the beauty's on the inside anyway. That's really what it is. So Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Be careful. Be discerning. I don't know what the hell to tell you. But you have more women interested in you than I do in me, as far as I know. So enjoy, you dick. I hate you for that, actually. I'm kidding. Don, I'm kidding. Please come back. Okay, next letter. Hey, Tony, you know what I don't get? I don't get all this discussion about sexuality. What I mean is, I can't believe how out in the open and front and center it is. Like, why do people care about other people's sex lives? Maybe I'm getting too old. This is from Bob K. Yeah. I get what you're saying, Bobby. I think the exact same thing. You know, I don't give a shit if my next door neighbor only dates discarded McDonald's Happy Meal toys. What the fuck do I care? It's none of my business. I don't care. Don't tell me about it. Yeah, I'm with you, Bob. I don't care. How did this become a thing? I don't get it. Moving on. Next letter. Dear Tony, congrats on the low-carb success. I myself follow a plant-based diet, and it's worked wonders for my health and weight control. I'm not judging at all, but rather I'm just curious. When you are eating your protein, do you ever get stuck on the idea that you are eating a dead animal? Does it even bother you? This is from Kelly from Litchfield, Illinois. That must be down south, huh? Litchfield, Illinois. I've never heard of that one. Does it ever bother me? Do I ever think, oh, I'm eating a dead animal? No, never. No, it doesn't bother me. Circle of life. It is what it is. Tank says, PETA, people eating tasty animals. Yeah. Now, you know what? I mean, I've said it before. I'll probably say it again. I actually was a vegan for at least a solid year, maybe 2 years. I mean, so been there, done that. But I did it for health reasons. I thought that it might improve my health. It was not because I was trying to save Bambi. As a matter of fact, I was trying to shoot Bambi just 2 days ago. So, no. Sorry. It doesn't bother me in the least. Not in the least. Okay, dear Tony, brain teaser for your morning. How could you, specifically, get a girl to fall in love with you in 5 words or less? This is from Cammie from Urbana, Ohio. How could I get a girl to fall in love with me in 5 words or less? Already my brain is thinking, what is Tank going to come up with? Let's see. I put the lid down. There's 5. I put the lid down. I don't think that's going to get her to give me or fall in love with me. It's going to get her to tolerate me. Tank says, oh, I got big bank account, says Plumber. Yeah. Oh, Tank says, I give free beer rides. Beard rides. Sorry, Spotify. I give free beard rides. That's 5. Yeah, here is my bank statement. That's 5. Look at my net worth. That's 5. I don't know. I think love within 5 words, that's a pretty lofty goal. Especially when you have jowls, you're losing your hair and shit. Not going to happen. But if she's a waitress, half the time I think it is happening. I'm so weak for that thing. Let's see. Next letter. We're flying through a ton of letters. This feels good. Let's Let's see. Dear Tony, my kid's school system has been getting worse and worse. We've had sporadic e-learning days on the rise all year, and the latest is walkouts by the teachers where they're calling in sick to protest for higher wages. I, for one, am outraged. How can these teachers leave the kids hanging at a time when they are already so starved for learning? I've just really been disappointed in the people committed to educate our youth. While the rest of society is crumbling, they too are infighting and missing the mark. What to do? This is from Fred L. Freddie, thank you for your letter. And I feel your pain. And this is a super, super frustrating time. You should read a book that I've mentioned before. Well, let me mention the author first, John Taylor Gatto. John Taylor Gatto. Look him up and learn about him. And then read any of his books. His crowning jewel is The Underground History of American Education. You should read that book because what you'll learn is if you're wanting your kids to get an education and you're banging your head against why is the school system doing bonehead shit, all right, it's going to help you never worry about that again because that's not where kids go to get educated, right? Education happens in spite of the schooling. So, I mean, am I really ruffling any feathers to say it seems like the system is broken? You know? Oh, here's a nice comment from Plumber. Tony, I think you just haven't found the right one. I know you got some game. What a nice comment, Plumber. We'll see. Times will tell. Tank says some unions are good. Teachers' unions aren't, in my opinion. Yeah. And yes, schools have become a glorified daycare. I do agree with that. I think one of the things that I hope is that people in general will, now is the time to rethink everything, isn't it? We need to rethink everything. And I think a lot of stuff is getting exposed. And now's the time where we can maybe take a second look at stuff and say, okay, was this really the best way to go? You know, maybe a different way, maybe one of these. There are all sorts of homeschooling and non-traditional school things popping up. My audio kid, Lucenzo, he goes to one of those granola schools, right? And he has no homework. He's a delightful kid. He does like robotics and seems awesome. Let's see. Plumber says education happens at home with the parents. Yes. I wholeheartedly agree. Georgie says, if you're that disappointed in the education system, teach your kids yourself. Yes. Agreed. I totally agree. 7:59 people. 7:59. Let me cruise through a couple more letters. Dear Tony, my wife and I live and work in the Louisville, Kentucky area, and we've decided it's best to move out to the country. A little bit of farmland, some peace, quiet, and independence is what we're looking for. Any advice on how to find a good piece of land, what to look for, how to get a deal done would be awesome. I would also like to get your thoughts in general. Is living in the country versus living in the city going to make more sense over the coming years? This is from Kyle J. Thank you, Kyle, for your letter. I mean, whatever. Maybe I talk a big game, but I'm the wrong person to ask. It just so happens I showed this. There's this book that I showed earlier, Finding Good Farmland. Who is it by? Anne Larkin Hansen. I don't know, maybe, but I'm not the guy to ask. I really don't have. I'm a wannabe. Okay. I mean, I would like to seal the deal sometime soon, but I haven't been through it. I will say, though, in general, I do think that living in the country versus living in the city would be I feel like we're going to a time where that would be desirable. That's just me. I feel like now one thing I value kind of over everything else is freedom. I just like I don't like people telling me what to do. And I have this feeling there's going to be more of that out in the sticks. I think there already is. And I just think that's going to continue. And I think also it's just going to be you have a much better chance of being self-sufficient out there. Now, that comes higher risk. Yeah, Plumber says cities will be very dangerous if shit hits the fan. I kind of agree. Oh, Robo Kitty in the house for the last 3 minutes of the show. Good morning, Robo Kitty. I was actually wondering. It's so funny. I was wondering, Robo's sleeping in. I know it's your day off because I like to get it all in your business and know what's going on. So yeah, I would live in the country. Although, I mean, like I said, don't ask me. I'm not the right guy to ask. Let's see, 802. I really need to get going. But I think in honor and out of excitement of Robo Kitty hitting the stream, I'm going to go against my better judgment. I'm going to do one more letter. Let's see how it goes. Dear Tony, I heard on a recent show you might be going deer hunting. Yes, I did. Mad respect. If you don't mind my asking, what's your process once the deer's killed? I grew up a city kid, so I wouldn't even know where to start. Do you really eat deer meat? I've heard people either love it or they hate it. This is from Kevin L. from White Plains, New York. Kevin, thank you for your letter. I appreciate it. I'm no expert, Kevin. But, I mean, here's generally the process, right? You kill it. You skin it. You disembowel it. Not even necessarily in that order. Let's see. What else? Well, then you. I mean, what we did last year is we cut it into pieces that you could sort of handle. You don't want a whole deer laying there on the table. But then we butchered it up. You know, you make you cut out some tenderloin steaks. You most of it we ground up into like to make deer burger. And as far as is it delicious, I freaking love it. It is the most the deer meat that I still have in my freezer is the most prized meat that I have. And I have beef, I have pork, I have whatever. The deer meat is the best. That's just me. Now that's last year's deer. Maybe there was something about it that was just extra delicious. I don't know. But that's the deal. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I love it. I can't wait to bag one this year. I really hope it happens because I need to up my supply again. I need my protein, people. All right, 804. Oh, Robo Kitty. Hey, listen, I got to wrap things up. Again, sad to say, I probably am not doing a show for the rest of the week. Long story. I don't want to get into it. Pain in the ass. But maybe I can turn things around and maybe I'll get a show. But I'll remind you on Discord, on Twitter, on all that stuff. In the meantime, remember, I love you. I like you. Thank you for spending the morning with me. And until we meet again, don't take any shit from anybody. Okay? Love you guys. I will see you